Do you have expectation? Welcome to my daily wisdom, daily process of understanding what this day has been about for me. What kind of reminder? And especially on the path of never abandoning myself again. So my name is Lucy and I'm glad to share this with you today. So expectations. How many expectations do you have when it's related to money? You have invested in something, so you have expectation to get what? To get a return. When you put money down on the table, maybe for a transactions, you have expectation to have something in return, which is normal, right? I'm seeing the impact on relationship and how money expectation can affect the relationship we have. And I had this reminder today that business is business. Well, I don't agree. Like, it's not because it's business that you have to be rude, you have to be cold-hearted, you have to be not having any kind of emotions or feelings. And I think it's a big differences between men and women in business is I am not able anymore to run businesses with a cold heart. I'm facing human beings in relationship in business. I'm transactioning, yes, but I'm transactioning with businesses, with human people. So human beings. So when we say business is business and we shouldn't be affected by what's going on, I don't agree. I don't know what you're thinking about this one, but I don't agree anymore because we need to understand, we need to express how we feel. And I have experienced, a high level of maybe frustration and disappointment in work relationships. And so, yeah, they are the service provider. I am the one paying with my partner. But at the same time, okay, let's take our own responsibilities here. Because, yeah, they may not have delivered, but have we provide everything that needed? And today, I struggle a bit with that because I'm like, okay, I am the client, so I should receive what I pay for. So those expectations, right? But at the same time, I need to understand what has been going wrong because I deeply know I'm someone that know that if a situation has happened, there are some root cause. The unsatisfactory things at the top is the top of the iceberg. It's not the root cause. So I'm always seeking the root cause, what has been happening, what has been not happening for them and for us to really, gain knowledge and not have lost that money, basically, even though we may not have received the result that we were expected. Let's turn that investment in time and energy and money into something that we can learn from. And today I really have the reminder that we need to manage expectation. So as a service provider for more than 11 years, I think now, I have learned to really manage expectation of my client. I make it clear what I deliver and what I not deliver. I make it clear before to sign up with someone to understand where they are at, to understand what is happening for them and where I can bring them to. And then am I delivering a result, which I've been doing for a long time, or am I delivering a container that it's on their own to transform? Especially with coaching and mentoring is slightly different. From a service provider perspective, I'm selling a result. So I'm committed to that result, and that result is really clear. When I shifted to mentoring, coaching, I'm selling a container. I'm selling a space for transformation. So I'm not selling a result because this depends on the person willingness to change and willingness to do the work, but I'm committed to be the guide along the journey. But when it comes to service provider, and I've been again in the position of as a client facing a service provider, and then I realized that service provider was not strong enough on choosing their client, making sure they have all the criteria that they need to actually succeed. And then what creates almost 2 months later is disappointment from a client perspective. It's a frustration. Is why I am paying money. And of course we could say, hey, you are too expensive for the result, but I disagree that money is always the reason. Money is just the way that we feel something that is not right. But what I noticed with this particular case is, as the client, I need to make sure that the service provider that I'm choosing has a strong line, a strong commitment to themselves to be able to deliver this result. Because it's why people get disappointed in business, it's why there are relationships that breaks. But when you are, as a business service provider, when you know what you need from your clients to make it happen, there is a non-negotiable here. Because if not, the level of expectation that's going to appear from a client perspective, it's normal. Like, it's what I'm discovering now. It's like, of course I have expectation. I am paying a high price. I want the result. And I'm paying an expertise that I don't have. So I even have more expectation that I'm giving my trust to someone because I'm not able to know the work. It's why we go for experts, right? So I have expectation, which are normal in business, maybe not in love relationship, but in business, this is totally normal. So I am learning so much today to, what I've been applying to me as a service provider, I also need to apply to carefully be picking the service providers at a higher for my business. Because if not, I'm finding myself in situations that are tricky, and especially because I am not running this business on my own. We are true. So we do have, expectation from different perspective and from different way of dealing with those things. So it's even more important as a partnership to be really selective on how you pick the right service provider. So that has not been a waste of money, has not been a success, I would say, in a result that we were expecting at first, but it was, time to acknowledge that, to make a change. And actually to be more at peace, when you have frustration from clients and disappointment, this is telling something about how you're running your business right now. And I've seen it in my own business journey for many, many years, never had those things. And then one day I started having complaints on my business, like lately during COVID when I was not in Bali anymore. And I realized there is something happening within my business. I need to shift something. So when you have a also disappointed or frustrated client, it's an opportunity for you to realign, to be selective, to look at what happened with that client. What did you make it choose that client? Did you accept it because you wanted clients, or did you accept it because it was in fully alignment with your expertise in your business? And then is where alignment rise. So I'm super, I feel the release of that tension somehow after these big actually days of brainstorming around that. But it's a great reminder. And the card of today is self-respect. By acknowledging that everyone is born with the same unit of worth, I can honor myself deservedly. Self-respect. By acknowledging that everyone is born with the same unit of worth, I can honor myself deservedly. I see you tomorrow.